Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off.
Do you ever feel like life is a never-ending series of lessons while you try to find purpose, meaning, and answers? I am Vanessa Fontana, the host of Figuring Shit Out, a podcast where we undertake self-help, coming of age, and healing. As I live my 20s in New York City figuring shit out myself, I've realized that if you spend your whole life trying to get your act together, you don't have a life. You have an act. On Figuring Shit Out, every Sunday, you get to normalize the journey of not knowing and be guided into living your life with more intention and ease.
Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Welcome to the Think Unbroken podcast. I'm your host, Michael Unbroken, and this podcast is about helping trauma survivors let go of the past, overcome their fear, discover their identity, become the hero of their own story, and ultimately to be unbroken. Our goal in company is to bring on guests and experts in the fields of mental, physical, and psychological health to help you overcome the past, to take back your power. And in this podcast, we are unedited and unfiltered, and we're going to give it to you real so that you can start to create massive change in your life. If you're curious about learning more outside the podcast, you can get a free copy of my book, Think Unbroken, at book.thinkunbroken.com. That's book.thinkunbroken.com, where you can get a copy of my #1 best-selling book, Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma. The most important thing that you can ever do, my friends, is show up for yourself, and that's where you are today. And I appreciate you. I have massive gratitude for you. And without further ado, let's get into the show. We'll be right back to the show, but before we do, I want to take a moment and tell you about my new book, Unbroken Man, A Man's Guide to Being the Hero of Their Own Story. I sat down a few months ago and realized that there are so many men in the world that need guidance, that need support, that need to learn about trauma, removing themselves from toxic masculinity, breaking down the barriers to vulnerability, getting unstuck, and ultimately learning the tools to become the hero of their own story. Unbroken Man is available for pre-order right now if you go to men.thinkunbroken.com, where you'll also get access to over $1,000 in bonuses, including the 6-week in-depth trauma healing coaching app, which you'll get instant access to. I created Unbroken Man to be accessible to everyone around the world, but it is written for men from the guise of a man, and I hope that you will find it to be a practical tool on your healing journey in the same way that thousands of men around the world have. So check out men.thinkunbroken.com to pre-order, and until next time, be unbroken. The greatest limiting belief and fixed mindset is the one that other people give you. What's up, Unbroken Nation? Hope that you're doing well wherever you are in the world today. I ran my first marathon on Sunday. As I'm sitting here recording, let me tell you this, I'm incredibly sore. Everything hurts. Moving hurts. But I did it, and I did it. It was half marathon. I did it 2 hours, 40 minutes. The most I've ever ran at one time in my life. And I'm very, very happy that I did it. You know, I'm such a proponent, as you all know, about following through with the decisions that I make, living a no excuses, just results mentality, being unbroken, the whole nine. Like, I practice what I preach. And so after I had my surgery in February, I wrote down, run a marathon. Doctor told me May might be too soon. I said, let's see what happens. And so on Sunday, I was able to complete the Colfax Marathon, which was a really beautiful experience. That said, as I was running, something hit me in the middle. Now, a lot of times I will run with headphones on. I'm normally like listening to podcasts or books or, rarely music, but sometimes music. And I said to myself, I'm going to bring my headphones. I'll just put them around my neck. If I decide at some point I'll need to listen to them, I will. And that didn't happen until like the last mile, because I wanted to have this experience of something I had kind of planned for a while. But for the first 12 miles, I did not have my headphones on. I was just running and breathing and thinking and looking at the people and hearing like the feet hitting the pavement. And in this, one of the things that dawned on me is I remembered being like 22 or 23. And my roommate at the time had told me when I was like, I think one day I'm going to run a marathon. Right. And this is 13, 14, 15 years ago. How old am I? Yeah. So about 14 years ago. And he said something to me that actually stuck with me until this year. He said, big guys don't run. Big guys don't run. And until this moment, I have held on to that belief. And the most dangerous limiting belief and fixed mindset that you can have, that I can have, even in real time, like going through and acknowledging it, is what other people tell you is fact, is truth, is life. Because I'm pretty sure I'm a big guy who just fucking ran. And I'm pretty sure, actually, I know there are other big guys who were running. There was a guy who like freaking 7 feet tall running next to me at one point. And I looked over at him. I was like, what is happening right now? And I realized that those mental blocks that other people give us will stop us, will hold us, will keep us from being able to step into our greatness. And it could be anything, right? And you guys know this because we've talked about limiting beliefs. We've talked about fixed mindsets many, many times on this show. But in real time, what was happening for me, and I've been training for 6 weeks now, it was difficult. There were a lot of sore days. There were a lot of hard runs. There was a lot of like, I don't want to do this. I can specifically remember a couple of days where I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm just going to quit. And I don't allow myself to quit ever. I always find a way. And so in those moments, being on the treadmill or being on the street, being like, I want to quit, I would just tell myself, you will die before you quit. And I know that's intense. You guys all know I speak to myself in a very intense way because it's what I need. And I was like, no, you will die doing this. Figure it out. Get it done. Stop making excuses. It's it is possible. And as I'm going through this training, like I was thinking about all these other places in my own life over the course of my journey that I felt limited. Like it's nuts to me that when I was at the beginning of starting to get in shape around 26 years old, being about 350 pounds, like running was, I never ran. Now, of course, there's the argument like you probably shouldn't run at that size. As many of you know, I used to be a certified personal trainer and nutritionist. Like, sure, there is an argument for that. But there's also the argument of pushing your body. And so everyone's got to figure it out on their own. But in my head, I had already predetermined that I was not going to run. I was not going to be a runner. I wouldn't do it. It would not be a part of my experience or my journey. No matter what, I'm not running. And so I didn't. And I didn't for a very long time. And I just kept seeing all these people in my life have these physical feats and accomplishments. And yes, I mean, I've successfully done CrossFit events and I've practiced Muay Thai for a long time and all those things. But it was really this running thing, even going back into my 20s, I was like, I want to do that. But my friend was like, big guys don't run. And he was a big guy. Like he was like 6'5", 250, 300. I don't know how much he weighed, but he's a big guy. And he said that to me, and that became my truth. Like, think about how fucking crazy that is. That someone else's idea of who you should be would become your truth. And so when I said to myself, when I recognized this and I understood that there was some kind of mental block keeping me from ever having run a marathon before, it was during the running of it that I realized that's where it came from. I think that there's something really important to this idea that I'm always trying to teach you guys, that my mentor taught me, of commit first and figure out the rest later. And so in my head, I was like, look, all these people who do great things seem to have some type of physical endeavor that they're always working towards. Now, for some, it's like the ultra marathons or the double Ironmans or whatever. Like, I don't know that I'll ever do something like that. But now I'm like, okay, cool. If I can run that, I can go do a triathlon. Maybe I can do an Ironman. Maybe I can do whatever that next physical feat is, pushing the mental capacity that I have to be able to accomplish something in my life. And knowing the truth that what we think becomes our reality. And so you guys know what I think about mindset. Mindset is what you think becomes what you speak become your actions, and your actions become your reality. And I was thinking to myself, for the last decade plus, big guys don't run. And so I didn't run. Even though I wanted to do marathons, even though I've been invited, even though I had the opportunity. And even in the best shape of my life, I was doing some running. When I say some running, I mean a mile here, 2 miles there, not a big deal. We'll be right back, but I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about the Think Unbroken 6-week trauma healing coaching program. If you go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com, you can sign up for the 6-week daily Think Unbroken trauma healing coaching program. In this program, we're going to go over the 6 principles of healing trauma, adaptation, understanding the impacts of trauma, how to become the hero of your own story, what to do next, and ultimately what it means to be unbroken. For more information about this 6-week coaching program, which you can download as an app on your phone and take with you everywhere, no matter where you are in the world, it's interactive. It's built about giving you practical tools that you can use in real time. And if you're ready for what's next in your life, go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Again, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Now let's get back to the show. But I always said to myself, well, I can't do a big marathon. I can't do anything over 5 kilometers, which is like 3 miles or something, right? And so I was in a limiting mindset. I'm admitting that to you guys here on the show because it matters. Like, I still, even though, yes, I'm the coach, I'm the speaker, I'm the mindset guy, I'm Mr. Unbroken, blah, blah, blah. Like, I still am constantly opening up doors into my truth. And in that, discovering like, shit, there are still limiting beliefs. There are still things that I still have a fixed mindset about some things. And so I thought, okay, cool. If I still have a fixed mindset about some things, how do I move through them? And the answer actually became very clear in the middle of this run on Sunday. In the space of commit first, figure out the rest later, challenge the narrative of what you think is possible by doing things you've never done before, but at a greater level. Because I'm always telling you, the only way that you grow is you do things you've never done before. That way you can make meaning of them. That way you can figure out who you are. But now I'm thinking to myself, okay, can you do that in a more in-depth and complex way so that you can unravel the truth about your capability in this way that I think only you can discover through physical endeavor? Because, like, I believe my mindset's super, super strong in business and in, empowerment and things like that. But the physical side, I was like, wait a second, I'm limiting myself. I'm not trying the thing that I want to try. And so all this is to say, I want you to think about the limiting beliefs and the fixed mindset that other people in your life have instilled in you. Because somewhere in this journey, somewhere in your life right now where you aren't showing up for yourself, it's because somebody told you that you can't, that you shouldn't, or that quote unquote big guys don't run. And what that means is genre of this idea of like, because you are a man, a woman, or however you identify, because you're short or tall or small or wide or whatever, you can't do something. Challenge the narrative of your reality. That's what this is about. Challenge the narrative, what other people have portrayed to you as what you are capable of doing, because they're wrong. And when I made the decision to sign up for this marathon, this had not even crossed my mind. I was just like, I'm going to do it. Just go do something physically hard, because I stopped doing CrossFit. I haven't done Muay Thai in a while. And I was like, all right, do something hard that's not just lifting weights at the gym. And so it was this. And without having committed to this, right? Without having committed to this, there's no way that I would be able to be having this conversation with you right now. And so what that means is you need to commit to something in your life that is uncomfortable and difficult so that you can move through whatever that limitation and limiting belief is that you have about what you're capable of doing. Very likely it's something physical that you may want to consider doing, but it may not be that. It could be something very different, right? It's about putting it on the table and just saying, I'm going to go and do this. Because one of the biggest fears that I have, and you all know this, is dying with regret. And so for me, running a marathon was putting myself in a position to go, I'm not going to die with regret. I'm going to follow through and execute. I'm going to do this thing because I need to know if I'm capable of doing it. And in crossing the finish line, for me, it was like 10 seconds of like pure exhilaration, being like, fuck yeah, I finally did this thing done. And then it was sitting there in the grass and thinking to myself, well, what else can I do? And that's what I want you guys to think about. Like, can you get to the finish line of the endeavor in front of you that you know you should experience to find out what you're capable of doing? Now, of course, there's the byproduct of all that through the training and the growth and the difficult days and the hard moments. And like most of the experiences I've had in my life, like the finish line wasn't as intense as the moments of the journey on the way to the finish line. But the greatest reward that I got out of this experience was recognizing like there are still roadblocks, even in my journey, that other people have implanted in me about just general concepts, not even anything very specific. But big guys don't run is pretty general, right? I don't even know what that means, right? And then coming to realize, like, wait a second, I need to actually evaluate other areas of my life. I need to dive in deeper to figure out if that exists anywhere else. So my hope, my friends, for you today is that you will take into consideration that the greatest limiting belief and fixed mindset that you may have right now is very likely coming from someone else because of something said in passing that may carry no weight in any capacity in your life, but it's also keeping you stuck. And I want you to get unstuck. I want you to be able to move into what's next in your life and, of course, ultimately to be unbroken. My friend, thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Unbroken Nation. It means the world to me. Do me a favor. We're so close to 200 reviews. Please pop over to iTunes, leave a review. Let us know what you think about the show. If you found value in today's episode, share it with a friend. Send it to their text. Send it to their DM. Screenshot it. Throw it on Instagram, something. Let me know that you listen. Let me know that you love it. And until next time, my friends, be unbroken. I'll see ya. Unbroken Nation, hope that you just got a tremendous amount of value from today's episode. I want to know what you think. Please do me a favor and review, rate, and share the episode with 3 friends on social media today. It would mean the world if you did, because ultimately at the end of the day, creating community and connection is how we heal generational trauma in the world. And I need your help to do that, Unbroken Nation. So if you're on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you are, please like, comment, share, review. I want to know not only what you like about the show, but how I can make the show better, how I can make this further about helping you on your healing journey. So do me a favor. And when you do, shoot me a screenshot of you making the review to my DM at Michael Unbroken on Instagram so that I can have a conversation with you, say hi, and more importantly, so I can share it with the Unbroken Nation. Thank you so much, my friend. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.
Doctors take Field of Greens for their own health. Here's Dr. Ryan Green to explain.
We're like you, too much fast food and not enough exercise. That's why I take Field of Greens. The fruits and vegetables in Field of Greens support my heart, lungs, kidneys, and metabolism for weight loss. And Field of Greens promises your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back.
Get 15% off with promo code HEALTH at fieldofgreens.com. That's promo code HEALTH at fieldofgreens.com. Product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.